G'day and welcome to The Explainer. Right, today we're jumping into one of the biggest shake-ups to Australian payroll in a long, long time, payday super. It's a massive reform, so over the next few minutes, we're going to give you the essential, no-fluff guide on what it actually means for your business.
So why the huge change? Well, it all kicks off with this number, $5.7 billion. That, believe it or not, is the estimated amount of superannuation that goes unpaid, or is stolen, from Aussie workers every single year. This problem, what's often called super theft, is the real reason behind this whole legislative shift.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with what payday super actually is, then dig into why it's happening. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty changes for your business, take a look at some of the industry pushback, and finish up with a really clear action plan to get you sorted for 2026.
All right, let's get straight into it. So, what is actually changing here? The idea behind payday super is pretty simple, but trust me, the impact on your payroll process is going to be huge.
Okay, so here's the core of it. We're moving away from the old system where businesses pay their employees super contributions once a quarter. The new model, super has to be paid every single time you pay wages. Simple as that. And this whole thing is set to kick in from the 1st of July 2026.
Now, this is the bit you really need to remember, the new 7-day window. Once you hit pay on someone's wages, a clock starts ticking. You have just 7 calendar days, not business days, calendar days, to make sure that super money lands in their fund. That's a massive change from the quarterly deadlines we're all used to.
So why on earth is this happening? Understanding the why behind it all is pretty key to seeing why the government is taking these new compliance rules so seriously.
Well, the government and the unions see this in very stark terms. They are framing unpaid super as a direct form of wage theft. And the logic is, if you align super payments with payday, it becomes a lot harder for contributions to get missed or delayed, mainly because your employees will see the money arrive right alongside their pay. It's all about visibility.
And the scale of this problem, it's just staggering. This isn't some small niche issue. We're talking about around 3.3 million Australians affected by unpaid super. And it hits young workers the hardest. Think about this. Nearly 1 in 3 workers in their 20s has had their super stolen. That has a massive, lifelong impact on their retirement.
But this isn't just about stopping theft. It's also about turbocharging growth for your employees. When super gets paid more often, that money starts earning compound interest way sooner. Treasury reckons this simple change could leave a young worker about $6,000 better off by the time they retire. That's no small change.
All right, let's get into the technical stuff your business absolutely needs to be on top of. What are the new rules? What happens if you're late? And what are the penalties you really want to avoid?
So if you do pay super late, you'll be up for something called the superannuation guarantee charge, or SGC. It's got 3 parts now. First, obviously, you have to pay the super you missed. Second, you have to pay notional earnings, which is basically daily compounding interest to make up for what the employee lost. And third, and this is the kicker, a hefty admin penalty that can be up to 60%. The only good news is you might be able to reduce it if you put your hand up and tell the ATO about the mistake yourself.
Now, listen up, because this is a really, really important change from how things used to work. In the old system, late super payments and penalties were not tax deductible. Under these new rules, both the late super payment and the penalty charge will be tax deductible for your business. It's a pretty big concession, and it's designed to make it a bit less painful to correct any mistakes.
So while the policy has some pretty clear goals, it's definitely not without its critics. Industry groups like the Financial Services Council have been pretty vocal about some of the practical headaches that businesses, super funds, and software companies are about to face.
The Financial Services Council, or the FSC, is a huge industry body. Now, while they completely support the goal of stopping super theft, they've gone on the record to Treasury saying that the way this is being rolled out poses some pretty significant risks and challenges.
Their number one concern? The timeline. The FSC is basically saying that once the law is officially passed, software companies and super funds need a good 18 to 24 months to actually build, test, and securely launch all the new systems required. From their point of view, that makes the July 2026 deadline totally unworkable and just risks a really chaotic launch.
So to fix this, they've made a few key recommendations. They want the start date pushed back, they want that payment window changed from 7 calendar days to 7 business days, which makes a lot of sense when you think about weekends and public holidays. And they want more support from the ATO to help reduce data errors. These are all practical changes designed to stop good businesses from being unfairly penalized for system glitches that are completely out of their hands.
Okay, so you've got the government's goals on one side, and you've got the industry's concerns on the other. Where does that leave you? Let's break down the actual steps your business should be taking right now to get ready.
First up, and this is absolutely critical for a lot of small businesses, ask yourself this question. If the answer is yes, you really need to listen to this next part, because a major tool you probably rely on is about to disappear.
That's right. The ATO's free small business superannuation clearinghouse, the good old SBSCH, is being retired on the exact same day Payday Super kicks in. So what does that mean? It means if you use it to pay your super, you absolutely have to find a new commercial provider before that deadline hits.
So here it is, your 4-step game plan to get on the front foot. Step 1. Get on the phone to your payroll software provider and make sure their system is going to be ready. Step 2. Rework your cash flow forecasts. You need to plan for smaller, more frequent super payments instead of that one big quarterly hit. Step 3. If you use the SBSCH, start looking for a replacement now. Don't leave it to the last minute. And step 4, tighten up your onboarding process for new staff to make sure you're getting their super details 100% correct from day one. Bad data is going to be a nightmare with a 7-day window.
Look, there is no doubt this is a significant change, but it is also completely manageable. With some smart planning over the next couple of years, Payday Super can just become another smooth part of your payroll process. It's all about staying compliant, avoiding those penalties, and most importantly, doing the right thing for your team's financial future. Thanks for watching.